Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, I am doing a short series about parent and child relationships. So this is a tarot reading. I also have mother and child. This one is for father and child. So whether you are a father and you have a connection with a child that is perhaps at conflict at this time, or just trying to gain some more clarity about the situation, then this would be your reading. Or if you are a child, and it doesn't matter which gender, if you are a child and you are wanting more clarity about a connection that you have with your father, okay? And I'll put it out there that, I am assuming that the child is kind of adult age, of, being able to care for themselves, probably 18 and over. This would not be energies for a young child because that just wouldn't work in this scenario. This is really kind of adult versus adult energy, whether you are resonating as the father in the situation or as the child. The other thing I'll say is that if you are a male and you could be either the father or the child, right, in this situation. So if that's the case, and it doesn't really matter, if you're feeling like the energies are flopped, you can flip-flop the energies as much as you want to. Another thing to keep in mind is that father and child, or any parent and child relationship, is usually a soul contract, right? So, we're together for a very long part of our time, our time here in this lifetime, and so it gives us an opportunity to work on a lot of our soul lessons. So we'll take a look at how each person in this connection feels about the connection at this time. And then we'll take a look at the obstacle that each person is having at this time in the connection. And then we'll finally take a look at advice that Spirit has for each person, whether you are resonating as the father or the child in this situation. Okay, interesting, because in the mother-child reading, they had fork in the road on the bottom too. So I feel like that is really kind of interesting, that there is perhaps some change that one or both of you are trying to make in this connection. And, really looking at this in a different way. Okay, wow. I really, I have no, I'm not making any intention as far as the mother and father being married in these readings, okay? So you can take a look at that from, any point of view. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start. This is going to be the father, and this is going to be the child. Once again, you can flip-flop the energies if you want to. Okay, at this time, we have come to the edge, and we have the Empress energy. Now, the Empress energy is representing the divine feminine, and in this case, that would actually be the mother, okay? Whether the mother and father are together at this time or not, they could have divorced or, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's almost as if the father in this situation could be wanting a fresh start, either with the mother, a fresh start away from the mother, or if the mother and father of a child in this situation are divorced, the father may be thinking about having, remarrying with somebody else. So let's go ahead and clarify this. I'm going to say the father's energy here really has a lot of love in this connection, but also, yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay. Now, the father has love on the mind, Two of Cups. I am really and truly trying to keep that in this connection, okay? There's a lot of love, but there's also this sense of betrayal. It could be that this sense of betrayal comes from the child. Feeling perhaps that the child has had something to do with the connection with the mother, okay? Or the father could have, be separated from the mother or something. There could be a sense of betrayal there, between the mother and the father. Really interesting because we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. I feel as if it's moved from holding back into wanting to go into a more loving relationship. The other thing is that there's definitely this energy of wanting a fresh start, of wanting to rebuild something. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, wanting a long-term lasting relationship. It could be with the child, but there's almost like this energy of wanting a long-term committed romantic relationship. The father's energy is there at this time. Okay, so let's see what we have here for the child. We have deep knowing and the 4 of Swords. I feel like the child in this situation understands that there is going to be healing in this situation. Intuitively, they know that this situation is going to come back together. Okay. 7 of Wands, getting on top of things. Okay, so it's interesting because the child is, we have the Devil card. So the Devil card is an energy of toxicity in this relationship, but I also feel like somebody in this connection may also have, some sort of toxic behavior, or it could be even, a substance abuse or something like that. There's something that is preventing this connection from really uniting. Now, the other thing is that if the father is like remarrying, okay, or is marrying somebody besides the mother, I feel like the child may feel like that is, holding back the connection between the father and the child, because the father seems very focused on what I would say romance at this time. And, I feel like over here we have this energy of that there is something holding back this connection, and that it needs to be healed. I feel like the child could have, some type of substance abuse or something that they're healing, or the father might, and they're healing it, but they know that the truth is about to be spoken. Let's put it that way. That something needs to be healed in this situation. There's something that is, with the Devil energy, it's Capricorn energy, but it doesn't have to be Capricorn. There's this sense that something has to be healed. The child knows that this has to be healed. And I feel as if perhaps the child is, I don't know. We'll see what the obstacle is. There's almost as if the child knows that something outside of this connection needs to be healed so that this connection can then be healed. Interesting. And remember, you can flop these. So if you're, more aligned to feeling one way or the other, you can switch the roles here. All right, so let's take a look at what the father's obstacle is at this time and what the father is going to be working on over like the next 4 to 6 weeks, trying to overcome the area of resistance. We have a leg up, and then we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about marriage. And I'm saying that because it seems like the father here may be kind of focused on that. family values. The father could also be focused on just core values, what the father believes, okay? But with a leg up, there's also an opportunity coming in. It could be an offer that is coming in, but trying to look at this offer based on what the core values are of the father. So let's, a leg up is like the Ace of Pentacles, having a fresh start, having something new beginning that will last, a long time. So the father could be hoping for something to come in order to build something new. Yeah, something. Yeah, Six of Pentacles on the bottom, really interesting. The mother had the same energy on the bottom, and I'm only bringing that up because there seems to be a little bit of correlation between the father and the mother's energies coming in through here. So we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, somebody that is very charismatic, very good looking, fun at the party, has a lot of fun, does the King of Wands does his own thing. This is the father's energy, kind of, doing that, but also at the same time trying to move on from turbulent waters into calmer waters and wanting something more stable. So I feel like it's kind of interesting because, and I'd love to hear in the comments, is that, the father seems to be kind of like focused on family values at this time, wanting something to come in that will help to stabilize maybe the family values or something. I also feel like the father may have gone through a period of time where, the King of Wands is, a little bit of a player, but the King of Wands has more money. May have gone through a little bit of an energy of, just kind of going, trying to do life his way. Let's put it that way, but now recognizing that that is only, it hasn't satisfied him. Let's put it that way, because he wants something that is more stable, trying to move into something more stable. So, whether the mother and father are together or not, the father may have it's almost a little bit of that midlife crisis energy, may have gone through a little bit of that, but understanding now that's not what I really want. It was fun while it lasted, but it's not what I want. What I really want is to be settled down, is to have, that sense of security. Really interesting, because the child in this energy is going through some change, and then the Five of Cups. This is a very sad energy of looking at the situation. The father could be, honestly be looking to perhaps, if the father has been single for a while and is now wanting to settle down to marry somebody. There's something that is really causing the child in this situation to look at this change, and change in, perhaps change in the father, okay, and is really sad about it, is missing something. Perhaps, the father has been spending time outside of, the father-child relationship, spent a lot of time doing other things, especially with the King of Wands here. And the child is just missing having the father in their life, especially with this devil energy. I feel like the devil energy is, it could be for the child, but for some reason, I feel as if, the child is looking at another relationship that the father has, or, some type of thing that's going on in the father's life as pulling away, pulling them away from the situation. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Queen of Wands. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd really like to know in the comments. This is very different than the mother-child reading. So the child over here, when we clarify, has the Nine of Cups. This connection is something that they wish for in their life. They want this connection to come back together. They want, though, look at this with the Three of Cups. I feel like they want a family to come back together, a celebration, understanding this is what I really and truly want. Yeah, and the World card, starting a new chapter, going in a new direction. This is what the child is really trying to bring into their life. If they can't have it with the father, I think the child is seeking this in their own life. They're looking at everything that they've lost in this connection and, not even looking at what is still kind of good in this connection. These two flowers are looking at the three flowers that have been lost. With the change in the wind, there could also be, I've got to make a change because this relationship is bringing me a lot of sadness. I don't like the way I feel in this relationship. So I have to, perhaps make a change in my own life, go seek my own Nine of Cups, my own people to celebrate with. Really interesting. I think it's interesting that the Queen of Wands is underneath here. And then the Empress again. Wow. Yeah. And then the Six of Cups. This is almost a little bit like a soap opera. There was a time in my life, honestly, and my friends and the people that I taught with, they were like, your life is a soap opera. And I just remember thinking, really? And now that when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, it really was. At the time when I was going through it, I was like, no, not really. Everybody has this going on in their life. No. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. All right. So advice to the father. The advice to the father is there is with exchanging gifts. That the way to move forward, to move, because the father keeps having this Six of Swords energy, okay, that's here twice. Moving from turbulent waters into calmer waters, finding true happiness. I think the father is looking for true happiness in their life. Is the way to do that is to, with the exchanging gifts, giving and taking equally. So there's a couple of scenarios here. The father, and if you're the father, it's about not people pleasing, not giving too much. A lot of times the father feels represented by the money, okay, that the father makes. And then the father, I've heard fathers say, I feel like I'm an ATM machine, right? It's kind of an energy here of not over giving, okay? Stepping into an energy of I give, but I also want to get back. Also recognizing that giving money, okay, is not like giving love. That the way to calmer waters is to exchange love for love, okay? So it could be, it's really interesting if you're resonating, with the father scenario is, I feel like there is some kind of romantic connection and making sure that that connection is equally based, okay? And then also with the child, it's about making connections equal, giving and getting, allowing, okay, I should say, giving in the connection the same whatever you're wanting back, right? So when we give money or our talents, our gifts, we're, rewarded with the same, with money. Giving love, right? Affection, words of affectionate words, that type of thing. That's what we get in return. So it is kind of interesting because I think the father is on a very interesting journey at this time of really looking at what is truly important for him in his life, whatever that may mean. It could be that, the father has felt for some time, that that, you know, just life in general, not really. To me, the father and the child in this situation are kind of like on parallel paths, I would say. Not that they're not talking or having any interaction, but the mother and the child, the energies were very connected. In this one, it's almost like parallel paths. So let's see, Two of Cups, yeah, High Priestess, Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Interesting. You know, bringing in something tangible, you know, Two of Cups coming in again, High Priestess, you know, having this deep knowing that I feel like there's two things. There's a romantic connection, and I feel like there's a child connection here, that there is, you know, a lot of love. But I feel like for some reason, the father at this time has some regrets. It's about stepping into the energy, you know, that there's a lot of regrets around this Two of Cups energy. You know, the Two of Cups having the regrets, it could have been, you know, a connection that the father had when the father was kind of in this King of Wands energy. Or it could be that, you know, I feel like this is what I'm getting, is that the father is having a hard time. And if you are the father and resonating with this, asking yourself, is your life balanced? I feel like that's part of it, is balancing out your relationships, your work, your play, your, you know, whatever, like looking at your life as if, is it balanced? What part of my life isn't balanced? Because this energy, the father's energy, just keeps coming back to trying to find a balance. And I feel as if maybe the child in this connection is feeling that it's really unbalanced. You know, that the father has time for other connections, whether they're romantic or other siblings or work relations or friend relations. Like, I feel like that is the big drawback in this, is that the child is feeling like there is possibly more time and energy that the father has for other things than for this connection. I think the father is changing that, though. I do feel like there is a change in that. And then let's take a look at this. Yeah, I think the child is on the brink. This is the advice, time to go. Understanding that this connection is very painful. There's been a difficult ending, either in this connection or they're perceiving that there's going to be a difficult ending. And so it's kind of like they're thinking about either ending it or walking away from this. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. There's something that can be changed in this. Two of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Once again, a sense of competition, a sense of drama. A sense of toying. Do I offer my pentacle again or not? Yeah, trying to get on top of this. The Queen of Cups is coming in, so the child in this situation could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I feel like the child is understanding that part of this connection is opening them up to the idea of loving themselves. I feel like the father could be a little bit emotionally, holds back their emotions, because that kept coming up for me when I had this card. Kind of holds back their emotions. And I feel like the connection is helping the child to open up to loving themselves, of understanding that. I feel like there's part of me that says that the father is, you know, kind of giving as much as they possibly can. I think there's something that is, you know, holding the father back from being able to at this time to give more. And then we have the Page of Swords. Understanding that, you know, it could be that there needs to be a conversation here in order to clear the air. To me, it's almost as if the father is having to keep a lot of, it's like juggling, right? Keep a lot of plates up in the air, plates spinning, you know, juggling a lot of balls up in the air. There's this energy of that, because this just keeps coming back. And I feel as if the child is almost wanting this connection in a totally different way than the father can offer perhaps at this time. Yeah. Yeah. Three of Cups, though, on the bottom, I feel like there is going to be celebration here. Page of Cups on the bottom, you know, a sense of needing forgiveness. It does not matter if you're the father or the child in this situation. You know, a little bit of understanding that, going back to the sweetness in this relationship, you know, of juggling back and forth, give and take, that energy of give and take. I feel like, you know, it could be that the father just feels like he's over given to the child in some way. You know, that ATM type of energy is coming back, you know, as over given to the child. And, you know, I think here's the scenario. I think the father may have given financially, or, you know, somehow given to the child a lot. But the father may have been giving and as a way of showing their love to the child, and the child is kind of a little bit of wanting love instead of money or finances. I think they like the finances maybe too, who knows, right? But it's kind of like, I just want your attention. It's that type of energy, like, because, you know, we have change in the wind and the Five of Cups. I feel like the child wants their attention, wants the father's attention more than just the financial gain from the situation. And I think for the father, the father is looking for perhaps more appreciation of the, you know, the money or whatever, is looking for more love in the situation. Really interesting, because I feel as if there's just a lot of holding back, you know, in this whole, it's about give and take, learning how to give and take, and also kind of understanding perhaps that both people in this situation are kind of giving giving what they can give in the way that they can give it. I'm not saying that they're you know, both people maybe are working on progressing in that area, but it's, you know, we have the Four of Cups on the bottom. It's just kind of like discontent. It's almost that like the you know, 5 languages of love. You know, it's like one is giving in one area because that's what they can relate to, and the other one is wanting something else, you know, wants love in a different way, but they're also giving the way that they do. A really interesting energy. All right, so this is whether you are the father or the child in this situation. It does not matter. Some advice from Spirit. Wolf. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Really, really nice. I feel like there's a couple of scenarios here. For some of you, I feel like the child is at this point perhaps of wanting to walk away from this connection. But no matter who you are in this, it's understanding that there is love in this connection. It may need to be separate for a while, but then there can be maybe some healing. But at the same time, if you want a new journey together, right? You have the fork in the road. You have the fork in the road and the soulmates card, higher power, understanding that you are about to walk into a brighter future in this connection. It's about taking a look at the connection and maybe having that conversation about, whatever this is. Whatever this is that I feel needs to be healed. There's something, something that is holding back this connection, but it hasn't been discussed, if that makes sense. So it could be, oh my goodness, interesting. Okay, this same exact card, and this one it flipped in the deck, came out for the mother-child. So I wonder if a lot of you that are coming in to watch this are actually the child, kind of looking at this. It'll be interesting. All right, wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you've ever experienced has helped you in some way. The past is behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desire. Yeah. And that works whether you're the father or the child in this situation. I feel like for both of the mother-child and the father-child readings, I would say the message is somewhat clear about allow the past to be the past. It's time to move on. And I feel we just went into Mars and Gemini, right? And that stays with us for the next 7 months. I mean, it is kind of interesting that energy is coming out right now about, okay, things need to progress. We need to move forward. Whatever has happened in the past has happened in the past, but it's time to move forward and understanding that, this is a true soul connection. Taking a look at, hey, how can we heal it? What needs to be healed? What needs to be said? What needs to be changed in this connection so that we can get back into a very loving connection? Wow, really interesting. I would really love to hear in the comments how you may have resonated with this. I do personal readings if you're interested. The link is in the description box below. And I wish you much love and light in this situation and all your situations. And I'd really love to hear how, you may, how you felt about having a different kind of tarot reading like this. And I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Bye for now.